I don't know what it is, but I have been so incredibly bored of the internet lately. Like, I'll go on TikTok for a little bit to scroll, and maybe about a few seconds into scrolling, I'm like, what in the world am I doing here? I'm doing nothing. I'm wasting time. I feel like I'm seeing so many different things. I'm laughing, then I'm stone faced, then I'm just not entertained. It feels so stupid to scroll on social media. And I feel like when you step into that level of awareness of your own behaviors, that's when you really start to make the changes that you need to make in order to make your life better. Okay. I've actually gotten so bored of social media, so bored of scrolling and just distracting myself with other things that I'm actually excited to look at self-help stuff again and to learn things that are going to help me be the person that I want to be in the future. Because I realize ultimately I can decide to do that right now. I can decide that I'm a particular person and literally just act as that person right now. And when I think about the fact that I was able to stop vaping, and I've vaped on and off, but it's never been like this major thing where I was super addicted and I couldn't go without vaping. It was more so of a boredom thing, right? Like, I'm bored, I'm sitting in my room, I could just vape, I could like feel the smoke coming out of my mouth, and like there's something that does to me as someone who has smoked for a while. Okay, not smoke cigarettes, although I did go through a period where I did smoke cigarettes, but again, it was never this thing where I was doing it all the time. It was more so when I was social, or like if I was drinking, like it was one of those things, right? But now I'm like, what is really the purpose of any of those behaviors? If it's not getting me to where I really want to go, which is a place of great health where I am in good shape and all of my organs are healthy, right? So how does smoking help me get there? It doesn't help me get there. So why am I continuing to do it? And I think the same thing is happening when it comes to me scrolling on social media. Like, I don't really understand the point of me doing it. And at one point in time, I was really excited about being on TikTok and making videos and being an influencer on there. But I'm at this point now where I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to be doing that at all. Like, I don't want to be constantly on TikTok because I am literally making videos on it. And it's not to say that I don't do it here and there, but I have really noticed that my relationship to social media has changed. And because my relationship to social media has changed, when I thought I wanted to be an influencer in the traditional sense as we know it today, I think I would much rather just live my life and share things that I've learned along the way. And whether that means I make a vlog or I do a sit-down video like this, I think when I try to put myself in a box, that is when I hit a wall, baby. And I hit a wall because I don't think I'm meant to just do one thing. I think I'm one of those people who just has a lot of interests. And if I do one thing for too long, then it becomes monotonous, and it also becomes understimulating or just not stimulating at all, because I need to cycle through things. And I don't think that makes me someone who is not disciplined or anything like that. I think that I just have to know my own flow. You have to know your own flow. And there's seasons for everything. Some seasons you want to write. Some seasons you want to play sports. Some seasons you want to do this. Some seasons you want to do that. And I think the more that we can not judge ourselves, or the less that we judge ourselves for whatever habits or whatever interests that we have, and we just go with our flow, and knowing that they are healthy, right? We don't want to be doing things that are destroying us, right? But you have to have a level of self-awareness so that you are fully aware of what's going on, but at the same time, you're not being mean to yourself. Because I think before I would be really mean to myself about certain things, like, oh yeah, I smoke weed sometimes, like I should really stop doing that. Or, oh yeah, I really like to eat, I should really not do that as much. But it's like, okay, if I'm balancing the eating out with adequate exercise and I'm not eating horribly every day, then what's really the matter with that, right? If I'm smoking weed sometimes, but I'm still getting everything that I need to get done, what's really the issue? everybody has their vices, you know what I mean? It's just about not allowing your vices to get in the way of where you want to go. And when it comes to social media in particular, I'm just realizing that all of the time that I personally spend on social media, it doesn't seem to reap or lend to a reward for me. So I'm like, why on earth am I going to continue to do something if it's not really doing anything for me, right? Like in the long run, you kind of have to look at it and be honest with yourself about whether or not you should continue to do certain behaviors, because some of those behaviors you could be doing so much more that can get you to where you want to go way faster. And if that's what you would prefer, why not do that? And I think that's why I'm really grateful for the fact that I'm now stepping into this next phase of my life where I'm not working where I was working for the past like 4.5 months. I'm going to be starting in a completely new role in a completely new company. But I'm really excited because I'm seeing that one of the major reasons why I'm going through this shift is because of the mindset work that I've been doing up until now. And I really believe like I quantum leapt into a new reality because the earning potential that I have in this new role is just crazy. Like it's honestly kind of infinite, which is super cool. And it's also making me think about how crazy it was that for so long, I literally didn't have a job and I was just home all the time. And I've had a bit of a break between my last job and my next job. It was like basically 2 weeks. So I have about a week left till I have to go back. And it's crazy because I'm like, how the fuck did I just sit at home constantly with basically no funds whatsoever and not get bored? But it just goes to show that sometimes you do need those seasons where you're pouring a lot into yourself, you're figuring out what direction you want to go in. But at a certain point in time, you do have to just step out there and see what happens, because I think it's way worse to be sitting at home when you can't really pay for anything, you can't do anything, versus going to work, having some money in your pocket. Then you can start paying for trips. You can start, really thinking about moving out. You can really just plan your life out. And that is way, way better. And when it comes to social media, if that entity is sucking all of your energy away from you and making it seem like you're doing something by scrolling as opposed to maybe learning a skill, maybe going to a job for 40 hours a week, why not just live life? Like, I think we take life way too seriously, but we literally do not have to. And life is a game. Like, how can you up level? That's what it's about. Like, you're an avatar in a game, consistently up leveling. If you so choose, hopefully you're choosing. And it's like, what character are you trying to ultimately become? And what steps does that character take that you should be taking in your life right now in order to get there? And I think since I really started to look at my life in that way, it makes it so that a lot of the bullshitting that I was doing before, it seems so irrelevant. And maybe you're getting to that space in your life too. If you are and you are interested in what I have to say about this and other things, definitely hit the subscribe button below, and maybe I'll see you in the next one.